night to all of you delegates here on site in Sweden, Stockholm, and to all of you joining us online from all over the globe. I'm so thrilled to have you here. My name is Frida Boysen, and I will be your forum moderator. And from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of Friends, UNESCO, and the Partnership Against Bullying, I would like to officially welcome you to the World Anti-Bullying Forum 2021. Yes, I love your applause. I know you are a fantastic group of people, all of you. And I would really, from the bottom of my heart, want to thank each and every one of you being here today, here in Stockholm and all across the globe, for your fantastic, important work. The things you do today can change a person's life completely. So please join in an applause for you, for the work you're doing. Please, you're fantastic. So, what's on the agenda? Some might wonder, let me fill you in if you haven't already studied the program, forwards and backwards. You can expect 3 wonderful days. And we have 14 world-class keynote speakers. We have 65 very interesting posters you can look forward to. And we have 150 oral presentations. And 39 workshops, so you will do a lot of working these days as well. And not to mention, you have 700 new friends to connect with, 700 delegates. Isn't that fantastic? And the best of all, no fear of missing out here. We will save all the content and it will be online for 3 whole months. So if you can't split yourself and decide, should I be on this parallel thing or the other? No fear, you will get it all. And we are, of course, also very excited to share knowledge, to hear what your opinions are. To solve this question, we can't do it all alone. We have to do it together, right? So please, interact, join us, fill in with questions to our prominent speakers on stage, make my work a little bit easier. That is the way we will make things happen. And of course, sharing is caring, inclusion is everything. So please, if you hear something interesting, something important on this stage or online, please share it. Use the hashtag WABF 2021 to share all your brilliant thoughts. And let's kick it, right? And I would like to introduce the organizing partners of the World Anti-Bullying Forum. Please welcome the Managing Director of the World Anti-Bullying, representing Friends, Frida Varg. Yes. And the President of the School Student Union of Norway, representing Partnership Against Bullying, Edward Botterli Utnes. Welcome. And Senior Program Specialist and Team Leader, Section for Health and Education, representing UNESCO, Christophe Cornu. Welcome. Great to have you here. Are you all right, all of you?
Perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. Lovely, lovely. Friends initiated the World Anti-Bullying Forum in 2017, and this is the 3rd biannual forum, and we are back in Stockholm where it all started. And Frida Varg, you have worked with the Anti-Bullying Forum for, you did the 2017, the 2019, and now you're back on the 2021 Congress again, and you have more than a decade of knowledge working with these very, very important questions. So you are truly an expert and a cornerstone in our important work here today. So Frida, would you like to explain to us, why are we here today?
Well, I would say we're here to collaborate. At the WABF, we always talk about bridging the gap and building bridges, but I would also say that we are here to strengthen the bridges that we already have. I mean, there are so many collaborations going on, there's so many networking to do, there's so many friendships to start. I mean, we have practitioners here, teachers and other people working with and for children. We have young people here, we have policy level representatives, and of course we have a lot of researchers. So I think we are here to collaborate among us. And I mean, I've heard of so many new, maybe a researcher who met another researcher, now they wrote an article together because they met at the World Anti-Bullying Forum. And friends, as initiators, we are creating a platform for you to, to knock down these barriers and to change the norm. And I mean, if we all work together, if we all are that piece of the puzzle, I think we are here because we are a community. Yeah.
Wow, let's give her a hand. I love it. Such important words. And Edward Waterley, we heard you are a representative of the Partnership Against Bullying. In case someone is new here, perhaps, could you describe a little bit what you do?
Yeah, the Partnership Against Bullying is a coalition of between the Norwegian government and 14 national organizations who all share a vision of a bully-free and inclusive kindergarten and school environments. So we work to strengthen local competence and cooperation in the work against bullying.
Mm-hmm. And why is the school student union a part of the partnership?
That's because we believe that in work that affects students, students shall be heard, and we're an important voice. And it's really important that we participate now because we're in this paradigm shift in how we form educational policy and development. We're moving away from measuring students' faults and treating us like problems waiting to happen, and towards treating us like whole human beings with an important voice. So that's, if there's one thing I want you guys to remember and keep in mind during WABF, it's that we students are not just statistics and quotes. We are the key to create an inclusive kindergarten and school environments. And you have to talk with us, not about us.
Oh, I love it. Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I think you said it all, really. Let's move on to Christoph, because I know you are working hard as well, of course, at UNESCO with these very important questions. And I know you have something special to share. You have worked with virtual meetings the last, last couple of months, year even. Can you share with us a little bit what you have been up to?
Okay, yeah. So we have a wonderful partnership with the World Anti-Bullying Forum, and we've been organizing, as you said, a few virtual meetings that were the follow-up to an international conference on school bullying that we organized last year. That was to celebrate for the first time the International Day Against Violence and Bullying at School, including cyberbullying, that was created by all member states of UNESCO. And one of these virtual meetings focused on a proposed revised definition of bullying, which I hope is going to be one of the highlights of this forum. So after the conference last year, well, actually, I should say during the conference, we released this document, which is titled Recommendations by the Scientific Committee on Preventing and Addressing School Bullying and Cyberbullying. And this document includes a rationale for revising the definition of bullying and how it should be revised. This was developed by a committee of experts. Mm-hmm. And this year, the World Anti-Bullying Forum and UNESCO set up a working group of experts who were tasked to actually come up with an actual definition of bullying, a revised definition, and we did it. So we have something to share with you today, mm-hmm. and we feel very excited. First of all, I think I'm going to read the definition, but I would like to acknowledge all the great experts who were members of the scientific committee and of the working group who developed the definition. So I don't know now if there's going to be like a...
Do we have drums? Thank you.
So I'm going to read this, and I think then you'll explain what will happen
sure.
During the rest of the forum. This is a new phase in this process of the revision of the definition. So shall I go ahead?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so proposed revised definition of school bullying. School bullying is in-person and online behavior between students within a social network that causes physical, emotional, or social harm to targeted students. It is characterized by an imbalance of power that is enabled or inhibited by the social and institutional norms and context of schools and the education system. School bullying implies an absence of effective responses and care towards the target by peers and adults.
Thank you, Christoph. Okay, so as you mentioned, Frida, we need to do all of this together, as you also addressed, of course. So this is just a suggestion, right? So, Christoph, now you need the help from all of the delegates present on site and online. So please give us your feedback. Give Christoph and all of us your feedback. This is important, maybe the most important question during this forum. So if you want to give us feedback, how do you do it? You go on site, you go online. We even have a little picture to show you. You can get online and then you click in the down corner. Let's see where it is. It's over there, right? Yes, new definition of bullying. So click on there, and there you will find whatever you need to do, the online survey. So you fill in the online survey, you fill a PDF document where the proposed revised definition is to be found. And please share your feedback with us. Latest 1300 hours tomorrow, Stockholm time, that is. And well, I'm looking forward to all of your answers and thoughts. Any thoughts from you guys? What do you think?
I'm just really excited to be a part of this conference and discuss the new definition of bullying and other things with all of you guys.
Yeah. Frida, anything you look forward to, especially during the conference?
Well, a lot. It's like be asked to choose your favorite child. I don't know. It's so much good things going on. But I mean, I look forward to on the third day, the last day, after you've given your feedback, we're also going to dig deeper into this new definition of bullying and present it further, and also to present your feedback. So it's really is a process.
True that. Very important that you mentioned that, Frida. So we will pick up all of your best comments and really dig into it the last thing we do this conference. So don't miss that final session on Wednesday. And with that, I would like to thank you so much for being here and for all the hard work you do. Thank you, Frida, Edward, and Christoph. Give them a big hand. Yes, thank you. Welcome back. Here on stage, I have with me our next very important guest. We all talked about doing this together. So please welcome Friends, Children and Youth Council's Maja Hultman.
Thank you.
Great to have you here, Maja. So Maja, can you tell us a little bit about what you do at the Friends, Children and Youth Council?
So our prime mission is to be an expert group and to bring the child perspective.
Yeah, super, super important. And I know you're doing a great work, and I know you look into all of the different aspects of bullying. And soon we will meet the Sweden's Minister of Education, Anna Ekström. And I know you have a question that you would like to pass on to her. What is that question, Maja?
We want to know how the minister sees the issue of bullying. How should we as a society be able to reduce bullying and in the long term eradicate it completely?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much. We will make sure to pass that on to Anna, and we will speak more to you after her speech. And now we are very happy to introduce to you our next guest to officially open the World Anti-Bullying Forum. She has previously been both the Director General of the National Agency for Education and the Minister for Upper Secondary School and Adult Education and Training. And now she is Sweden's Minister for Education. Let's welcome Anna Ekström.
Well, thank you, Frida, and thank you to the organizers for letting me kick off this extremely important event, the World Anti-Bullying Forum. And I like to go back to when I was 10 years old. My parents moved and I had to go to a new school. The night before, I was lying in my bed. I was very nervous, and my grandmother sat beside me and said, "Why are you nervous?" And I said, "I'm afraid of walking over the schoolyard." And she said to me, that's not dangerous. Walk quickly and look happy." That was a good advice to me, but still a better advice for me is to remember my 10-year-old self. When I see that schoolyard today, I see a friendly small schoolyard, but I can still remember my 10-year-old eyes seeing a very hostile environment. When I see the small wood beside my old school, I see a nice green area, but I can also remember how frightening it was with rivaling gangs walking around that wood, and always the terror of being bullied. Now, bullying, we all agree, is a thing that should be and must be worked against. Why? Well, very often you hear the answer that bullying is promoting school failures, and bullying is something that comes with children staying at home from schools. That's true, but the most important reason why we should counteract bullying is, of course, that we want children to have a happy time at school. 9 years at school or 12 years at school is a very long part of a human being's life. And we want our children to have healthy and happy years in school, not only because they learn better, but also because they deserve it. So bullying is a terrible thing in itself, but still, we must not overlook the other consequences, the serious long-term consequences. Many of our schools work hard and successfully to fight bullying. And I know myself that we have put all the right words, all the right paragraphs in the Swedish Education Act and the Swedish National Curriculum. And we can see also in the national statistics that if you look a few years back, we have come forward. But we see also other things. It doesn't matter how beautiful the words are in the curricula and the Education Act. What really matters is, of course, what happens in the classrooms, in the schoolyards, in the corridors, outside the toilets, and in the beautiful green little wood that could be so nice and friendly, but could also be so frightening. So even if we constantly strive to make our curricula perfect, the work against bullying must never stop. It must continue every day in every school, in every schoolyard. I think that the natural ambition is, of course, a zero tolerance ambition. And that is also something that cannot be achieved without constant work. So we must acknowledge that we are not there yet. And even if we see signs that the anti-bullying work that we have done in the last years, if you look back decades, we have come quite far. But still, we see that in the recent studies, racist bullying is on the rise. Bullying against LGBTQI pupils stand out with a very negative trend. We see that girls feel less safe compared to boys, And we also see that pupils experience that school staff do not always listen, do not always act enough. And it's very important, I think, that we follow this closely and also examine the underlying causes. Have bullying rates increased because children and pupils are more aware of their rights and their school's obligations? If that is the case, then it's a positive development that we see negative figures. But on the other hand, if this reflects that the problem is on the rise, we need to be on the alert. We must also remember that the classroom is a mirror of society. So if society has problems with, for instance, racist bullying or bullying against LGBTQI pupils and persons, we will have these problems in the schools as well. So anti-bullying is something that should be done in schools, but also outside of schools. As I already said, a robust legal and policy framework is of course important, but not enough. Everything that we do on the national level must be implemented locally, and it must be followed up in every classroom and in every corridor. This requires time, this requires resources, but it also requires knowledge and experience from the staff. And this is one of the reasons why Sweden supports UNESCO's work on eliminating school violence and bullying. We feel that UNESCO's work includes school-related gender-biased violence, and we also feel that it ensures that all children, all young persons have access to safe, inclusive, health-promoting learning environments. This is, of course, important, as I said, in order to make school a happy place, but it's also important in order to make sure that you can manage to go through school and come out as a happy person, ready to take on a new education or a job, or even to be a responsible citizen in the society. This requires a systematic work, but it also requires that we take into account the new kinds of bullying that takes place online on the internet. We need to include the technical development and combine this with a proactive and also a reactive approach. I would like to end my short opening speech by reminding myself that the 10-year-old girl that was me had the opportunity to learn through school what is right and what is wrong. This is some of the many knowledges we need in order to go out in life. So we need the knowledge. And we need to know also that anti-bullying work is something that should be done in order to make us all know what is right and what is wrong. It should also be done with the children, not only for the children, with the children, because the children need this knowledge in order to be adult citizens. And the children also need this knowledge in order to make sure that they are working together to promote an anti-bullying school. So with these few words, I would like, together with my 10-year-old me, to say that I really hope that you will have a very wonderful forum together. And I applaud your courage to come to Stockholm in November, but I applaud your courage to take on the important task of combating bullying and making sure that schools and societies are free of bullying. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you for those important works, and thank you for sharing your thoughts as a 10-year-old with us. I think we all recognize those feelings as children. So, Anna, I want to connect to Maya's question. Maya wanted me to ask you, or do you want to ask Anna, do you feel that you did get the answer how we shall stop bullying?
Well, it's a hard question to answer concretely, but I think it was a good try.
Oh, good. That was it. You passed, Anna.
Thank you, Maya. I'm humble.
Oh, that's good. So Maya, I know you have also addressed the one of the questions that Anna raised. The bullying has changed a lot, not the least this last year, with all of us going more digital, students being even more on social media. Can you tell us a little bit about your thoughts on the bullying on social media?
I think the bullying on social media is harder than the bullying IRL because there is less adults present online in the forums that we youths use.
True. So harder, right? So what do you think is the key to success to fight anti-bullying online?
More adults. The answer is simple, more adults.
More adults. So Anna, you spoke about technical solution to fight bullying online, and Maya fills in with more adults. How exactly, how do we do this? What are your thoughts, Anna, if you want to elaborate a little bit?
I think Maya is perfectly right, and we see this in the Swedish figures, but we also see it globally. Only last week, or the week before last week, we had a big forum in Malmö on remembering the Holocaust and combating anti-Semitism and other racism. And one of the key areas we discussed was anti-Semitism and racism online. And one of the sad things we concluded was that during the pandemic, age-old stereotypes about, for instance, Jews had been raised on the internet. So like Maya, I think that bullying and abuse on the internet is on the rise, and we need to address this, and we need more work to be done by the technical platforms. But I take your challenge, Maya. I will do my best to be more present on your platforms, and I pass it on to my 84-year-old mother too. She's very, very active on the internet, and I'll tell her to be present on your fora too.
Lovely, Anna. Anna, are you present on TikTok right now, I must ask?
TikTok no, I'm not present on TikTok, unfortunately. But sad to say, my old mother is.
Oh, wow. Congratulations to your mother. She's doing great work. What's your mother's name?
On Twitter, she's called Fru Jonsson. That's Mrs. Jonsson. So
add her.
Add Fru Jonsson. She's wonderful. She's discussing everything, and she loves Twitter because it makes it easier for her to connect with younger persons. So, like you, Maya, she longs for contact over the generations.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You spoke, Anna, about technical solutions. I sort of heard that you flagged for more maybe collaborations with the technical platforms, or are we talking legislation here, or are we talking just collaboration, or how should that work? I mean, we all want to get rid of the bullying, so what do we need to change to make progress even faster?
Well, in Malmö, the technical platforms had pledges that they would work harder to eliminate racist abuse on the platforms. And I will make sure that we will hold them to these pledges. Also, in the context of the European Union, there are discussions on more legislation. And so we will have to work on this. But before we have legislation and before the pledges are there, I think Maya is right. We who are adults must be more present, and we must remember what we learned at school. We must remember that bullying is wrong, and we must remember to react when bullying occurs, and we must have the courage to do that as well. So what we learned at school should be applied in our daily lives as adults.
True. Maya, what do you think, if you want to help Anna a little bit, what is the most common mistake, and help all of us, that adults make when it comes to bullying?
That they're not listening enough to the young people and the children, I think, is the most common mistake.
That's the most common mistake. Okay. So how can we solve that, Anna? Maya is identifying with all of her council friends that we are not listening well enough out maybe in classrooms, in schools. How can you help and inspire teachers, school leaders, adults, parents to be even more interested to listen?
Well, if things work the way they should, this shouldn't be a problem. I mean, Sweden has signed the United Nations Charter on Children's Rights, so we should this should also already be implemented. Now the problem is that these things are easy to write in an Education Act or a curriculum, but it's very difficult to make sure that it occurs every day, every minute, every second in every school, in every classroom.
True.
So my take is that we need to make sure that we have the time and the resources for the staff in the schools to do this, and we have to make sure that children's voices are heard, that we have that children are not recipients who receive education on how to counteract bullying, but actors who learn to be responsible citizens also when it comes to combat bullying.
Yes. Oh, and yes, some piece of information for me. And Maja, to conclude this, just one final word from you. What do you think is the most important thing that you want to send out to all the delegates and Anna and all of us? What is the most important thing you think is to stop bullying? What's the key?
The key is to not see us as numbers, to see us as people, to not see us as words on a paper, to see us as people. And also time and resources, as Anna said, is a key, I think.
Thank you very much, Maja. And Anna, any final conclusion, very short, what would you like to send out to all the delegates? What is the key to success here? You think, oh, yes, you have a cold, that's why you're not here. I'm sorry. Hope you find some water there, Anna. And I hope you get well soon. You look brilliant, but yeah. So, yeah, that's a cough. So, what do you say, Anna? Final words for all the delegates here and Maja and all of us fighting bullying.
We all have a responsibility, but we also have a possibility to contribute to a world free of bullying. And I would like especially to welcome the fact that you include research. We need to know more, not only how to behave, but also, sorry.
Yes.
But also to know what effect do we get from different kinds of work against bullying. So thank you all for contributing, and thank you for organizing this very important forum.
Thank you, Anna Ekström, for joining us despite your cold. Thank you very much for your hard work and the best of luck in the future. And thank you, Maja Hultman. Let's give them a warm round of applause.